today's project is going to be this excavator. It's a 205 LC excavator from Caterpillar excavator from late 80s, early 90s. Not terribly old. But the project is we got to reseal this piston because we got a little bit of leaking out of it. We're obviously going to check the pins in here, make sure we don't have too much slop in there. We're most likely not going to do them regardless, but still. And then we got to do the big one up there. Those two are already done. Wonderful. So all we got to do is that one and that one. So the plan is we're going to hover the... We're gonna put the excavator in this hole down here. It's about a, I don't know, 8 foot maybe height of a ledge right there. And we're just gonna rest the boom right on the gravel. So that's nice and level with it, and we can nice and easily just walk right up to that and get it. I'm hoping to make this a little bit of a series because we're going to do a bunch of things to this. We're going to do these two pistons, that's gonna be one thing. Fix up some electrical. Get some new lights for this thing because we got lights. Actually, we got lights. We got electrical power over here. We just got no power over here. That's about it. There's a few miscellaneous things. We're gonna do some oil changes, some other stuff, but I hope to do all that in the next coming videos on this thing. So I hope you enjoy the series. Let's get started by moving the piece of wood over there, and I'm also just gonna cut that up real quick. I guess let's go do that, hop in the skid steer, and let's go move all this stuff around so we can get this excavator going and start taking this thing apart. All right, over here at the skid steer now. This one gets pushed in towards the machine, like so. Boom. That's off. This one gets pulled away from the machine, and just like that. All done. Pull this up, pull that up. Alright, a little while later, it's time to actually get this thing going now. We got everything moved out of the way, all set to go. So we just gotta start this thing up and take that bucket off. And then we'll lay it up there and take a piston out. Alright, let's move this thing. I think it'll work. That's how we got this thing all held up. Right off the thing, ledge. Looks quite interesting. But it is gonna make it easy work to work on this piston. We won't quite easily be able to do this one. We're still trying to work out how we're gonna do this one. But we're gonna figure it out. Okay. See when we start pulling this stuff apart. I guess I need to go get something bigger. How about this side? Okay, this side's right. I'll be right back with the bigger one for that. Okay, got two more. Let's see if either of these will fit. So this one's 1 inch. No, I don't know if this one's gonna fit either. This is 1 inch and a 1/16. Huh. Looks like we're going good old wrench. All right, I think this is the third time I've come back. I've got 1 inch and 1/8. Let's try that. Oh, almost. 1 inch and 3/16. Fits like a glove. All right. No, I'm not gonna use I'm not gonna use the impact. It'll work. I'm not gonna though. So I'm just gonna use normal thing and, oh, wow, that's actually a bit sloppy.
Down there. Oh, it's coming?
Yep. And then impact it. Nice and easy. Pull this out a little bit, but I don't want to get too greasy. He's saying that there's a lot of slop in here, so that the bushing on the inside is probably gonna have to be replaced, or actually just replaced. That's really all you can do.
We'll see how it looks.
And it should be right in this thing.
Ready?
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, the
side
arm
pick,
on
yeah.
the side, right? Finger.
All right, we're back with a Allen wrench. Not quite the right thing we were hoping for. You're just hoping for a socket type, but this is what we got, so we're gonna try it for now. If not, we're gonna continue this another day.
No.
No?
No. Okay.
Okay, good.
Got them all, Byron.
It's just oil. Okay, got all 8 bolts off successfully, didn't break nothing. So far.
That was it.
Can we do it? Byron!
Sorry.
Want me to do something?
Yep, lift it. I got it.
Sure?
Yep.
All right, we'll see you back inside with the piston on some cardboard. All right, we got the piston in here. Yeah, that's about how you take this off. When we do the second piston, I'll show a little bit more in depth about how you really do this. I don't know how well I captured it. Do a little better next time. But that's gonna be about it for this section. We're gonna cut to the next time we work on this. All right, about a week later in the start of this project, and today we're going to clean out the bushing inside the piston. Because it's a bit sloppy, we want to make sure it's really bad, and then we're going to call up and we're going to get a new one. Okay, nice and easy. You broke it.
Really? Maybe it was cracked. Is it fresh or old?
What?
The crack.
It was half cracked, I think. That's new, but I think that might have been old.
Yeah.
Just dry fitting everything, seeing how it slops everywhere. Even gap on both sides from right there.
So we got a little bit. That's nothing really. I'm not spending any money on that. That's great. This, however, that is why we're replacing that one for sure.
Yep, that's what he's holding right now, is the piston bushing. And that's really loose, so we're definitely replacing that. But the pin and the bushings inside this unit, we're not replacing because there's just very little. Not enough to make us want to spend hundreds of dollars on something that's just gonna make it a little tighter. All right, we're all done with that other stuff for now, so now we're just gonna pop this thing off, pop these off. Can't really see it, but the other hose down here, this hose, we gotta pop that off. We'll pull this thing off and then check if there's any slop in this pin or in the bushing in here. It'll most likely be in the bushing if there's any slop. But that's what we're gonna go check. We're gonna clean it and check it.
Yeah, we never had it off. So.
Ready? Yeah. Got the skid steer over here. Now we're gonna lift up the piston, take it off. That worked out pretty well. Got this thing over here. I won't bore you with us cleaning this whole thing over again, but we're just gonna clean it off, set out some concrete blocks, and we're gonna take off another one. All right, over here now. Now we just gotta pull off the first pin. Okay. Sure. That's a lot. There you go. Right, that's all the ones I can do. So now I just gotta take them off. The other two, the tops of the bolts got flattened off, and well, no, I don't know how to explain it. They probably got hit or something. They got hit down, so I can no longer fit this thing into it. So, for example, this one actually does go in, so it does actually not fit in. This one right here can't go in. The top got hit down and just doesn't fit no more. So what he's gonna try to do is he's gonna take a little, basically like a tiny little drill. And he's just gonna like carve out the original shape, and then that should be able to let us get this thing in. Now all you gotta do is take these out. Nice and easy. All right, he's just gonna clean those things off, and I'll show you once we're done. All right, got all the bolts off. Now we're just doing what we did last time. We're just prying that end cap off, and we're just gonna pull the whole rod out. Oh, are you guys good? Oh, perfect. All right, made it over here just fine, even though you fell. Just gonna lift this thing up, and he's just gonna clean this thing off, and then we'll start taking apart the seals. I don't even think any of that's in the pin.
I think it's in this thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's all in that. But it's not much. Well, done for the day. A little bit late, but done for the day. And see you next time we start working on this thing. All right, we're back again working on the pistons. Both pistons are off. I don't know if I actually recorded it or not, but we did pull one section of the seal off, just this. So we could see how exactly some of this works. I pulled off the spring. But now it's time to pull off this one. I'll show you how we do that. All right, I guess we gotta start by taking all this stuff out.
All right, what do we got here? Okay, let's get cranking.
Now that's our whole rebuild kit for this. And as like I said before, here's the thing we took off. Most of this stuff is gonna go into this, and then the rest of it is gonna go into this.
There she is.
That's definitely not what that's supposed to look like. I don't know if you quite see it, but there's a lot of pits in it. All right, time to pull the outside pieces out. That's one. That's both of those.
That's one. Broke.
And there's a little broken piece. That's one of the reasons why we got to do this.
Wow.
Because
It got brittle over time.
yeah.
Oh, it's pretty deteriorated. Okay. That looks like it, so I guess we'll just try to clean this up good.
We're just gonna real quickly clean this whole thing off, and then we'll start putting everything back together on it. Okay, putting this, we got it all cleaned down. We're just putting this O-ring back in. Okay, we're gonna go warm these up super quick, and that should make them nice and easy to go back on. All right, just heating this thing up with a heat gun. Halfway there. Okay, we'll do one clip first.
Come on down, put that in. If that's there, it'll slide right over. Yeah, I should have did that before. Oh, they don't scratch it. We'll be okay.
All right, it's a little tricky, but not too tricky. We got it right on. We just used a couple zip ties to help it slide onto the metal, and once we did that, it went nice and easy. Definitely, the heat gun was a use, so if you do this yourself, heat it up. All right, time to take out this section because we finished the other one.
Yeah, that's
First little piece.
that's grooved. It looks like the
Yeah, it can only go in 2 ways.
yeah. Well, this is on the outside. Okay, that's the way it goes. They
All
go.
right, now we've done all. Last time we took off that. Now we just gotta take off these 2 O-rings, and that should work pretty good. We clean this off a little bit so we have a clean work area. So now we just gotta take all these off.
Little O-ring on the outside.
Little one, that's that little one over there.
The 2 O-rings are in the inner portion. Okay.
Inners?
Yeah.
Big.
So the
Here we go, another one. And another one.
okay. I'll clean
Now I'm
it
just
up.
gonna clean that off super quick, and then we'll throw the other stuff back in. Got everything all cleaned up the way we want, so now we're just gonna put these all the O-rings back on. And there's one. And there's the big O-ring. Now time for the little ones. And there's the second O-ring, little O-ring. That's all those. Now we just gotta do that one tricky one on the inside, which is in the freezer currently. Okay, cooling it didn't quite make it small enough, so we just wait for this to heat up a little bit, and then we'll heat up with the heat gun.
Yeah. I'll take this out first.
Oh, there we go. Half it's out. Now,
Better tool.
there we go. All right, after a bit of fighting, and a bit of hammering, we got it out. Not too much trouble, but gave us a bit of trouble. But it's out. Here's what it's supposed to look like, and here's what it looks like. Pretty rough. Got that all the way in, now we just gotta put the snap ring in. Alright, time to just put the snap ring in. And done. That was nice and easy. Now just gonna do a little check, just to make sure the snap ring's all in there.
Yep. See it going on in the groove. That's in.
Good. That made sure we got the snap ring all in there. Alright, that's on. That is definitely far tighter than it was earlier. Now we're just gonna wet everything so the seals get nice and wet.
For this stuff here, see it?
There we go.
Okay. It's just like a wiper seal.
Yeah, a ton tighter than it was earlier. And then just this little white seal and this thing. Now that this is all warmed up to room temperature, now we're just gonna take the heat gun to it, warm it up a bit, make it a little bit more pliable, and we're gonna try putting it into this. There we go. A few more things to put in, it's actually basically just this thing, and then it's all done for the ceiling stuff. All right, during the process of putting this one back together, we couldn't quite remember how to put this back in. So we decided it was just best to pull off the other one off the other piston. So we pull it off, and we did discover this is shot. It's not good whatsoever. It's no wonder why this was leaking. So this was definitely a needed one. You can see it all cracked and broken in here. Not supposed to be like that. But now that we got this out, we can confirm which way this has to go back in. All right, we figured it out. The notches go down like that. And that's just gonna be just about all for packing this thing back together. It's just putting it back together on the cylinder over there. All right, we're gonna go work on trying to get this off, and I'll get back to you once we get that off. All right, we're still working on this again. I think we were last working on it 1 week ago, and we couldn't quite decide where one of the seals went, so we tried taking off that one so that we could see where the seal was, but for the life of us, we could not get it off. This thing is just stuck on there. We welded stuff to it, heated it up, put 8 feet of leverage on it. It would not budge. So we got another part for it, another tool for it. So we're hoping that's gonna help us get it off. Well, we're gonna try it now. All right, first things first, we gotta put these bolts in so that when we're twisting it, we're not breaking nothing. And so they're holding it. All right, and to help us with this project, we recently picked up a genie lift from my grandfather. So we're gonna drive it over here, and that's gonna help us get all here.
Huh?
I'm pulling on the metal a little bit.
What metal?
Bottom. Careful.
Is it bit in there enough?
I want to use it. I won't bore you with all the... Jeez. I won't bore you with all the welding the new piece up. I'll just show you once it's done, because this is getting tricky, and I just want to be able to just freely make the tool so that it'll just be easy for you guys to see. So once we're done with that, I'll show you how it fits on up here, and then if that doesn't work, I don't know what we're gonna do. If this doesn't go, guys, I don't know what will. All right, we're gonna go weld that and see the other one back. Moving now, it's doing something. Okay, stop. You telling?
We got it.
We got it. All right, this is great. Now we've got this whole thing off. So now we're just gonna probably move it up and down a little more. Then we're gonna grind it off, and then we're just gonna use the normal tool to go from there. I'm glad we got this. Good thing we stuck with it.
You gonna be able to hold the heavy side on yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's a pretty precise thing. All right, we're gonna go inside, pull these welds off, and I'll come back. I don't even know if we need to put it back on to get the thing off. All right, we're gonna go inside. I'll take you with us, and we'll go take this thing off. All right, time to grind this thing off and take it the rest of the way off. Well, I know we're cutting a little bit short today because we didn't quite have enough time to finish, you know, cutting this off. But that's gonna be it for today. we'll be back out here in a couple days. Good enough. All right, we're gonna clean this off super quick, and I'll move you over to the table and we'll start pulling this thing apart and putting everything back in. All right, got everything all cleaned off. Now we're gonna start with this one. We're gonna pull the seals off, pull the seal out, and then we're gonna clean up the threads.
Or take it. Okay. Got it.
All right, just about time to put this thing back together. It is pretty pitted in there, if you can see it. So we have no idea how water got in there and made it so pitted. But we're just gonna have to put these new seals in, and they'll hold the water back, unlike the old ones. Just a little white one. All right, that's all in together now. Now time to just put this clip in. Then push it past the lip. There we go. So we have this seal, which goes right there. And this little seal that goes right there. There's one other thing. Oh, there. Now we just gotta do the two actual seals. All right. It's a little rusty in here, just like the other one. So, just gonna real quickly just clean it right out. All right. I think that's pretty clean, as you can see, nice and clean. And then in a second, you'll see us over there. And we'll be pulling out the seals, pulling off this. Wasn't there a seal there? Pulling off all the seals, and then putting all the new ones back in. Those O-rings the same size? Yeah.
Oh. Now these inner ones we gotta do, right? Okay. Hey.
Where'd you find that?
It was underneath it. I'm just trying to think, why does it want you to release a handle, Eli?
I have no idea. Oh, because you can only really release one handle. You don't actually release two. All right, that's it for this thing. This thing's fully done. This went a lot quicker than the first one. Now, one thing we did think of is we might not have pulled a seal out of the first one, so we're gonna have to double check that and figure out what we're gonna do. But this one came out really good, and this tool made it a lot easier to get it done. All right, time to take this thing apart. You have to use your pick.
Tougher than I expected it to be.
Time to take a couple more things out.
Just the O-ring, right? Just this fat O-ring.
Just one.
Yep.
That's it. All right, time to put this thing back together. All right, that's it for this thing. We got a clamp on here to hold everything together. So we're gonna let that sit for a while, but aside from that, this is completely done. Last thing we gotta do is something back on this that I forgot about. Is we gotta put this thing in.
Okay.
All right, time to go put this thing on.
Got it. I just don't want it to get all over other stuff in there. But...
Okay, I think they just started.
Okay. See between it? Yeah.
Yeah, about the same on both sides.
Alright, because it's probably starting to squish in the...
So rubber seal in there. Alright, that's that portion just about done. We'll torque it the rest of the way on the machine. Right, I almost forgot about this. You can put this thing right on, which all it is. Can't see it on your side, but there's a little clip that just clips in on my side on the spring, and it clips into a little hole. There's a little clip hole right there, you kind of can see it. And then there's a little jagged thing that comes down. See that? So what really holds it, that's just like to hold it in place when you take everything apart. What normally holds it is when you put on the cap that goes on the end here, it best fits that. Alright, time to put this one on. Do a little fix on the end piece like this. So that's all fixed now. So now we're just gonna put the end back on. And there we go. That's those two done. Now we just gotta put the end caps on with those seals. All over them up. That would help better. Alright, time to put this cap on. We're gonna start with the small one.
I think that's good.
Good. Just kinda gotta watch how that spring does, which I think will be just fine. That could be the spring holding you back. Got a decent ways to go. Good boy. This just must be threads then.
I felt like it just like stopped.
Oh boy. Alright, that went nice and good. Now time to just tighten up the last little key.
I don't want to strip it, but
Alright.
that feels good, so.
Looks pretty tight.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna put this cap on now.
This one is the one that's like all goofed up thread-wise, though, right?
But
Put it in the same hole, right?
yeah.
That is tight.
Alright, that's both of these completely done. All put back together. All we gotta do is put the bushings in on the end and then put them back in the sleeves. Alright, first, before we do any of the bushings in here, we're gonna first take out this broken grease fitting and then put a new one in. To do that, we're gonna use, what are they called? Easy outs, Dad?
Yes.
I don't know how much deeper than that I should go.
That's what I mean.
Ooh, moved a little bit. It's moving. And maybe it got a little angled.
You may want, you know what? We may want to blow that right out after.
Alright, so here's a new part. I'm just gonna put this right in there. Alright, we're gonna move this onto the ground so we have a better hitting target. Shoot on it.
Thanks.
Okay. Alright, now we got that all pressed in all the way. Now we just gotta put that thing. I cleaned it off already.
You want to put it in? We can't wear it.
Alright, let's do this fitting.
Don't have to over tighten the like especially feel
That's
good?
really tight enough.
Yeah, I feel like that.
This piston is completely done. All we gotta do is put it back in that sleeve over there. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, we got the next one to do, so we're just gonna pull these out. Pull it out. Pull the clip out. There we go. Hey, we didn't break it. Alright, pull this out. Oh, that was loose.
Alright, good enough.
Sounds like you just did it. Alright, that one went nice and quickly. Now, time to put these in the sleeves. Alright, that's how we're gonna do it. We're just gonna take the cylinder, the rod, and we're just gonna push it in right like that. But before we can put the rod in there, we gotta hone it. So we got a special tool just for that. We're just gonna clean up the end of this nicely. All right, we're just gonna clean that out, and you'll see us put the rod in. All right, to clean all the dust out, we've put a rag on the end of this vacuum stick. So we're just pulling out all that dust and all the debris that came from all the honing. And it seems to be working pretty well. All right, we got this thing all covered in hydraulic oil. Everything's all nice and covered in it, nice and wet. So this will help it slide on a lot better. And to also help it, we're also going to be putting on this thing to contain it.
Slow down.
All right, we're gonna go clean these bolts super quick, and then we're gonna put them in. All right, we cleaned off all the bolts. We're just gonna put some never sees on them, and we're gonna start threading them in. All right, it seems like we put this on the wrong way, so we're gonna have to spin the cap. A little more there. That one might have had a hard spot. All right, that's this cylinder completely all put back together. We just gotta tighten all the rest of the stuff up on the machine. But that's gonna be it for today. See you tomorrow. All right, back for another day. Gonna hone the bigger cylinder now, since we're done with the first one. Good enough. So we're going to position the lift in the right spot, and then we'll get the piston over here. All right, we're gonna move the lift over here. The piston's already inside of it. And we're gonna use the lift. I'm gonna stand inside. He's gonna hold it from on top of the excavator. And then we're just gonna push that cylinder, the rod right back in.
Let me get up. Not close enough yet, right?
That was me. I put a little pressure on it. All right, cylinders all the way in basically. So now I just gotta get the bolts in. All right, time to put the new bolts back in and all the rest of the bolts.
We just have to remember to go tighten these back up.
Got all the bolts in, and we're gonna call it quits for tonight. We're gonna come back some other day and we're gonna finish this thing up. All right, back again today. We're gonna be putting this piston on. We already got the upper piston all fully back together. Just gotta do all the torquing down on it. So yeah, we're gonna get this thing up here. We're gonna put the pins in.
That was heavy.
And then put the hydraulic hoses on. Yeah. And then we gotta put these hydraulic hoses on. All right, both hoses are on now. That's all the hoses hooked up. Now we just gotta do all the tightening of these bolts and the tightening of this thing. And we gotta also put on the block that goes here. All right, we got this big thing over here. Time to hook everything in. Make sure it doesn't let it slide off.
Yep.
Don't you move. I'll try to.
Any better? Good.
All right, that's everything on this bottom end. Now we gotta do everything on the top one. All right, we're just gonna do all those. Not gonna bore you with it, so we're just gonna do the same thing we did over here, over there. All right, all done torquing the bolts down and all done with the spanner wrench. Now we just gotta pull the piston in and put that pin in, and then tighten up. There's one bolt on that we gotta tighten up, and then the bolt that holds that pin in. To bring this thing in, we gotta start this thing up, so I'm gonna start it real quick, and we're just gonna start pulling it in. All right, that worked out pretty well. Now we just gotta put some grease in there in the bushing, and we'll pull it maybe in a little bit more and put the pin in.
Has to struggle all the time to get bolts that are broken and breaks them, and
Here we go.
slow.
All right, we're gonna run through it. We're gonna set this thing up. We're gonna run through all the cycles, push that all the way out, pull it all the way in, push that one all the way out, pull it all the way back in. And then we're gonna go throw the bucket on. Lower this thing down and see how sloppy this is, because this needed, what is it, four spacers on each side. So let's hope this one doesn't take too many, because we're just about out.
It might be tight enough in here. That's it.
That's 2.
All right, we got the excavator up here. So now that's up here, we got the bucket on. This all slop pretty good. We did think there might be some valve issues in there, some other stuff that needs some mechanical, but that's not today. We fixed our big problems, the leaky upper one that used to leak real bad. We fixed that one that started leaking bad, so that fixed multiple problems. But now we gotta do your yearly or every once in a while oil change. So we're gonna pop the oil plug, and then that'll be about it for tonight. Yep, we're just gonna let this drain overnight, and that's gonna be it for today. We'll be back again another day to finish up some more maintenance. Some electrical issues, and that's about it. Oh, and this door. This door ripped off last year when we were clearing land. That bent, so we gotta heat that up. It's happened before, it's not an uncommon thing for us. Gotta re-weld that, and then we gotta re-weld this exhaust, which is, it's not supposed to be like that. But that's gonna be it. See you next time. Alright, next day, let's pop this oil filter off.
Oh yeah, that's a little too tight.
Well, some people pull those apart and then check for shavings. We're not doing that. Alright, time to fill this thing with oil.
Perfect.
Alright, we'll start up, let it cycle through, and then check it again.
That's been doing that.
About halfway through.
See what, you want to put a little more in? It's always smoked like that.
Not bad.
Alright, done with the oil. That's all we're going to do for today. Well, I guess you'll see you back out here tomorrow. We'll probably re-weld that exhaust pipe on and try to deal with this door. Alright, last time we finished up those seals, put the bucket on, did the bushings, did the spacers. Now we gotta re-weld this exhaust because it's got a little broken in it. It's a little broken. We're gonna do the filters for the hydraulic oil. We're going to fix this door that's missing. So we gotta bend that back and then put the door back on, re-weld it. Alright, so let's get started. I'm gonna start taking all these bolts off so we can pull this exhaust off and re-weld it. Well, that didn't take much. Bolts. It must be a nest. Alright, first up we gotta create a good welding surface, so we're gonna just clean it off with a wire wheel. Ooh. Alright, just gonna finish up that welding and you'll see when it's done. Alright, while he's doing his welding, I'm gonna pop these bolts off because under here are the hydraulic oil filters. So I gotta pop all these outside bolts off and then we can get this thing off. So first I'm gonna try it with this so I can see how tight they are. Okay. Alright, let's see. There's a seal under here because he thought there might have been. Let's see. Alright, and then the oil filter is right in here. I won't take it out because I don't know how to do it. But that's the oil filter right there. The hydraulic oil filter. Alright, he's got it all welded, all done. Time to put it back on.
They're started.
Alright, that's all the bracketry on. Now we just gotta put that the clamp back on.
Yep.
Now we're gonna do the hydraulic filters. Alright, time to pull the filters out. A filter, I think. I think there's just one in this one.
That doesn't come out, that center thing, huh?
It's gonna just have me put it down first.
Get it locked in the slot. Yep.
About 5-7 gallons of oil in this thing.
It's like down there. Yeah.
This is all out. I don't think that. Alright, there's the filter we gotta take off. Same whole thing.
And that just pushes down. Here it is. Definitely got a flow direction on it. That's it.
Alright, next thing we're gonna do is go do the door. Alright, we're gonna start it up. Because I gotta turn it to drain this oil down here. We also gonna do that. We're gonna drain that gear oil. That's for the turning. So we're gonna drain that. To drain it, I gotta turn it so that there's that gap there and we can get underneath it. Anyway, in the meantime, we're gonna have to check if our weld jobs did good and if we got any leaks. Now we're in a spot, so we're actually not sure if we've done this already, so we're just gonna pop this thing off and see if there's, how is that? Wow, that's a big one.
I might have just taken it off to check it.
Why, you see never sees on
I
it?
don't think I've ever drained it.
Well, I guess I'll just drain it and see what happens. All right, time to drain this thing. It's water.
Yeah, it could be water on the bottom.
No, that's gotta get done.
Yep.
That's still watery, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got some water in it. Watch your head. Half.
We were trying to move this, but I guess it moved already. I was gonna give it a little heat, but I actually didn't think it'd be that easy. Keep going. It looks like there's almost bending at the wrong.
It might snap it.
Right here's the next piece that's gotta be welded on. It just gotta go on right here.
Popping a little bit, but that's hot.
Alright, time to test fit this thing. Well, not test fit, it's gonna fit like this.
At the bottom or the top?
Top one's on.
Bottom one?
They're both on. Could make me a little tap down. Oh, well.
Let it go down.
Alright, that's all done. On to the next thing, which is going to be filling the gear oil in the swing housing, whatever you want to call it. Gear swing?
Swing box.
Swing
Gearbox.
Swing gearbox. Alright, time to put oil on the top.
Yeah, now we just put it in until it comes out that hole.
It'll come out of here once it's full. And I just put this cap back in. There it is.
That's good.
Alright, I didn't do a whole lot. I just wanted to dry fit it. I knew this side works. So we got ground wire and then positive wire. That's a pretty bright light. That's gonna work perfect for us. All we're gonna do is what? Tack it in there? Just gonna tack it in there. This one works, but the electrical on this one doesn't work. I can't find the break in the line. And I checked the ground wire before I pulled that off, I think. So yeah, we're gonna try to see if we can figure out what is wrong with this thing. Try to find the break in the line or what's wrong with it. All right, we found the well, we actually didn't find the problem. We decided, so here's the wire this wire right here goes to here, which comes out here. We decided that we can't figure out where the thing is, so we're not gonna bother with it anymore. So we're just gonna run new wire down the whole length of it. All right, I'm gonna go push this wire down.
Okay. Because I think what I'll do is we'll just follow it along. Could probably run it through this thing too.
Let's see if this electrical works.
This gray wire, where does this gray wire go? Is that the one that's getting the juice to it? No.
It just...
It's on.
I didn't do anything. I just hit a bunch of stuff. Still on?
Yeah.
Alright, we got all our wiring done. Now in a short second, we're gonna be welding them on and then setting where we want them. Alright, we changed our minds. Instead of welding, we're gonna drill it. Alright, we're gonna just try dry fitting it now. Alright, we're gonna do some minor adjustments and then we'll get back to you. Alright, we got everything all set up, so now we're just gonna do the last tightening. We're just gonna repeat everything over here, and then we're gonna do the electrical. Now all you gotta do is the soldering and put these wires together.
Pretty good.
I think you should go with that. No, that's good too.
Yeah.
Want to check it?
Good job.
Wow. Those are nice. All right, that is going to be all for this excavator project. We did seals up there, we did the bushing, we did the seals down here, this piston seal. We did the bushing in that, we shimmed this. We did a bunch of stuff here. Cleaned everything. We did the oil filters, we did the exhaust pipe over there. We fixed the radiator door over here. And then finally, we did these. And we also did the oil there. Oh, and the engine oil. So this thing is properly ready to do the next couple years and just constantly work. It's ready to go. Well, that's gonna be it for this video. See you in the next one.